Drought has always been part of California's history. Evidence shows periods of below normal rainfall have lasted more than 50 years in the past. A Cal Poly professor is looking back at those so-called mega droughts to see what we might be able to learn about the area's climate in the future. Archaeology professor Terry Jones has been looking into California's climate for most of his career. He found evidence of a 50-plus year mega drought in our area 800 years ago that forced a change in the culture of native Central Coast residents. They responded to the incredibly dry conditions by turning away from the land and to the ocean for food.
What we see locally is that people were able to survive the droughts. There seemed to have been a major push on marine resources.
The idea is to learn from our ancestors, hoping to get ready for what's next.
And the question is, whether are we really prepared for a 50-year drought?
It's something meteorologists and climatologists have been talking about for years. What happens when you add climate change on top of California's history of rainfall variability?
It could be even hotter and even drier for even longer periods of time when you start to take in that probability of climate change.
Researchers like Jones are hoping looking at the past will help modern residents better understand what's coming, whether they believe climate change is happening or not.
Do we really have enough understanding of how severe a drought could become in California? Do we have the infrastructure set up to deal with that?
Much has changed since the last mega drought. Even dealing with short-term water challenges has led the state to build one of the largest water storage and distribution systems in the history of modern civilization. Can it keep a water-thirsty California quenched if history repeats itself?
If you put agriculturally dependent populations like ourselves into the same situation, the question is whether we're adept enough to adapt quickly.
Hopefully, a look back into the past will help us look forward as well.
Catastrophic events will happen whether or not climate change is real or not. So this notion of doing something about things we can control, that's something we should be doing right now.
Now, Jones is planning another round of research looking more closely at the local area to see just what kind of effect the mega drought had on the Central Coast.